Come on, son. Disrespecting us in the games. I mean, so the whole thing is really, man, since Martin Luther King died, it's been 42 years, we could say. God died in 68. 42 years. He hasn't, Martin Luther King died not knowing desegregation. When he died, it was he was fighting for segregation when he died. He was still in segregated communities.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So basically his death started really the rapid dismantlement of it. And it still wasn't fully dismantled in many places until probably the 90s. Because there's still certain places right now in 2010 that feel like if we around, we need to be watched closely, or what's the reason? So even if going there is not segregated, the view of the people there is still segregated.
Mm.
You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So boom, it's been 42 years. You know what I mean? We haven't really had any leaders. We had good brothers giving us guidance, but we have a little bit of guidance. I ain't gonna say no guidance. You got Farrakhan, you got brothers like Jesse Jackson, you got brothers like, you know what I mean? Really Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson is like the premier brothers that's really been trying to give us like a sense of, some type of good sense of ourselves. You know what I mean? Other brothers been activists for different reasons, or whatever the case may be, but a lot of the strong brothers that we had, like Malcolm, Huey Newton, and all those different brothers, I was trying to bring out, use us for a positive force for our own self. You feel what I'm saying? They was going through harsh. I feel like in their times, you know, violence and things like that was more upfront with them. A lot of their families and was hanged and went through a lot of immediate terrorism of that slavery in those times. You feel what I'm saying? That probably made them feel like it's so much up on us like that we got to choke back.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they were so violent in tone. But I think in 2010, it's not really about a violent tone. I think it's more of us looking at how much. It's all about us saying, all right, boom, since Martin Luther King died and segregation has been dismantling, it has given us the opportunity to be opportunistic in every level. You feel what I'm saying? From the worst criminal to the best doctor and everything in between. Sports, entertainment, whatever field. You feel what I'm saying? Military, you know what I mean? We just was opportunistic for the last 42 years in politics and everything. But through that, we gained even a black president. And this is without, you know what I mean? This is individual opportunistic. You feel what I'm saying? Being opportunistic individually, not as a mass. So that's why this whole proposal is really about saying that, damn, if in 42 years without no kind of cohesion, without no kind of real cohesion, in 42 years, there's still a magic about us that still gave us the spirit to move and still to even be a black president. You feel what I'm saying? So the only proposal I'm saying really is like, yo, let's give ourselves some time and say, if we can do that in 42 years, just imagine if we just cooperated for a couple years, what we can accomplish. You feel what I'm saying? And this is saying to say, I'm sure that if we put our minds to it, a little bit of heart, a little bit more soul to it, that we can advance far greater if we come up with a system of what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? We can advance far greater and be more, and be able to contribute more to the whole planet, to humanity, to everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Because everybody's getting something good out of us right now. even America, even our employment force here in America, even anything that we do as a part of being America, they benefit a lot off of that. So even if we become even better, they are gonna even benefit. Everybody's for the benefit of everybody, ourselves and those that align themselves with us. You feel where I'm coming from? So, but I feel that that core needs to be strengthened because as a history, with the history that we're from, well, we came here and through the slavery thing. You feel what I'm saying? But our core roots is from Africa and great nations and great, you feel me? Great schools of education, great schools of culture, great schools of traditions, great schools of arts, and great schools of sciences. And you feel what I'm saying? We all came. Those was all the early histories and early when you do research on it. That's all you find. You feel is they was brothers was great at this science and they was great at this science and they was great at science of engineering and they was great at the science of astrology, great at the sciences of medicine, great at the sciences of social behaviors and great at this. So you know what I mean? It's like it's only since we went through the trials and tribulations that we've been through on this that we've been in this most weakest. You feel what I'm saying? So and the reason why I propose is because it's not nobody else's fault now. You see, it's like it's just like it's getting to that part where we start talking about when we say you have to recognize what's going wrong, and you're gonna have to start doing certain things to rectify that.
Right. I feel that.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we need to be. We got to say, all right, boom, too much of us is killing each other. What's going on with that? Let's stop that. We gotta stop that. Bang. Deal with that. Boom. We need to be educated, more advanced. We need to be educate. Boom. We need to find more better foods, keep ourselves more physically better. Boom. We need to find better ways of dealing with our women, dealing with ourselves as men, dealing with our elders, dealing with our children, dealing with our finances, dealing with our relationships abroad and local, dealing with international relationships. This is for dealing with different countries, dealing with different languages, dealing with the world. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like the whole better advancement of everything. It's like our approach, what we think is the best approach for us dealing with this. If we're gonna continue to play basketball, what's the best approach for us to benefit off of this basketball thing? You know what I mean? If we're gonna continue to be singers and rappers, and what's the best approach for us to really be benefiting from this? Because at the end of the day, some crazy atrocities took place for us to be here today. Some crazy, despicable atrocities took place for individuals, and individuals could have wilded out, individuals could have suicide, they could have did whatever, but they felt like they needed to buy time. You know what I mean? They took time picking the locks. We didn't pick the locks. They took time picking the locks and getting the chain off the neck, then getting the chain off the wrist, then getting the chain off the ankles. Then for what? What did they do? You feel what I'm saying? We owe something to them. At the end of the day, I was like, yo, don't worry, it's gonna be greater later. Hold it down. It's gonna be greater later. That's all brothers kept saying. It's gonna be greater later. And right now, this is not greater. And when I say greater, I'm saying as far as on the way we could be moving with ourselves and with everybody else. This is not greater.